Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Jag here, and in today's class we're going to continue with our grade 9 math content, and this is a separate unit actually. Okay, it's basically on angles, and if you remember from grade 8 math, some of this material is actually reviewed and done again in grade 9 math. Today we're actually going to cover the angle relationships in polygons. Okay, and I want to look at this specific formula, okay, which is actually new at the grade 9 level. Okay, so this is going to be the sum of the interior angles. Okay, so I'm going to put S, and it's 180 and minus 2. So this is the actual equation. Okay, again, I will have to memorize this equation. Okay, N represents basically the number of sides. Okay, number of sides within a polygon. All right. So let's try an example so everyone can see how to use this equation. So you can see it is a very simple equation, okay? So I'm going to read the example out loud and we're going to try it on the board. Okay, so it says calculate the sum of the interior angles of an octagon, okay? So I do have to know that an octagon is a polygon that has 8 sides, okay? So let's put it on the side. I'm going to put n equals 8, okay? We're looking for the sum of the interior angles. And this is what the S represents, okay? So I'm going to put equals 180. And we're doing, instead of n, let's put the 8. So we're doing 8 minus 2, okay? Again, bed mass here, so make sure you're doing the brackets first. And 8 minus 2, okay? Which is equal to 6, all right? We're going to do 180 times 6 here. And the sum of the interior angles is 1,080 degrees, okay? And that's actually all the question is asking you to do, okay? And make sure you're putting a concluding sentence here. I would put, therefore, the sum of the interior angles of an octagon is 1,080 degrees, okay? Does everyone see how to do that question? Okay, so this is a sum of all the angles inside, okay, of the octagon, all right? Then there will be variations, okay, for this question or this type of question. I can also be solving for the number of sides, okay? So let's try one more example here. So I'm going to take this off, okay? And this time, okay, we are going to solve for the number of sides, okay? So actually, let me keep the formula on the board. So 180 and minus 2. Make sure you are memorizing this formula, okay? Teachers will not give this to you on a test or the final exam, okay? I just have to know it. And it's important as well because there are a lot of questions on the EQAO that do pertain to using this formula, okay? All right, so let me read out the question. It says, how many sides does a polygon have if each of its interior angles measures 140 degrees, okay? So this time, I'm going to sub in the value, okay, into S. So I'm going to put 140 equals 180 and minus 2, okay? It says how many sides does the polygon have, okay? So I'm solving for the number of sides here. However, it says for each of the interior angles is 140 degrees. So that's not the sum, okay, of all of the angles. Okay, I have to do 140 times n because I don't know how many sides this polygon has, okay? So this is kind of a trick question. Make sure you are reading the question very carefully. All right, so what we're going to do here is 140n. We can just distribute this out here, okay? So I'm going to do 180 times n, so 180n, okay? And then you're going to do 180 times 2. So this is 360. Okay, so you notice I don't need to actually put like the degrees sign here. Okay, I can just leave this the same. All right. So I'm going to take over the 180 to the other side and I'm going to subtract it. Okay, so again, it doesn't matter if there's a negative sign here. I can see that the 360 degrees is also a negative. Okay, the negative sign will cancel out. Okay, so it's not that big of a deal. So we'll put 140n minus 180n equals negative 360. Okay, and again, because it's a simple equation, okay, feel free to skip some of the steps here, but always double check with your teacher, okay, so the teacher doesn't take marks off. So this is going to be negative 40n equals negative 360. Okay, I'm going to divide it by 40, okay, on both sides, or negative 40 in this case. Okay, and this negative 40 is canceling out. So what you're putting in your calculator is negative 360 divided by negative 40, okay, and what we're getting is 9. So n is equal to 9. Okay, and again, make sure you're putting a concluding sentence here. So a polygon with interior angles of 140 degrees has 9 sides. Okay, again, it is an equation. I can take my value for n here and plug it back into that original equation, and I'll notice, okay, that I will be getting 140 times 9, and that should be basically my answer, okay, on both sides. Okay, with that, so let's try one more example here. Okay, again, I'm just using the same equation. They're just variations of the questions. So just in case the teacher gives you a different type of question associated with this formula, okay, you should not be getting confused. Okay, so let me take this off. Okay, let's keep the equation on the board here. Okay, so this is 180 and minus 2. Okay, so I'm going to read out the question. Find the measure of each interior angle, okay, of a regular polygon with 7 sides. All right, so again, I'm going to put n equals 7 here, 180. Now we're doing 7 minus 2. Okay, so do the brackets first here. So 180, okay, times 5. Okay, so again, I'm going to read the question out one more time. So we're getting 900 degrees. Okay, the question says find the measure of each interior angle of the polygon with 7 sides. Okay, so each interior angle, what we found here, this is actually the value of s. This is the sum of all the interior angles, and I'm looking for each interior angle. Okay, so what you're going to do here is I'm going to take 900 degrees. I'm going to divide this by 7. Okay, and the reason I'm dividing it by 7 is because this polygon has 7 sides. Okay, so what we're getting here is 128.6 degrees. Okay, again, make sure you're checking with your teacher. Okay, here I am rounding the number to the nearest tenth of a degree. Okay, and we're getting 128.6 degrees. So this is basically the answer, okay, for each of the interior angles. Okay, or also when you're checking your answer, make sure you don't get confused. Okay, yeah, I can take this value and I can actually plug it back into my equation. All right, but what I would be plugging in would be basically the sum, okay, of all of the interior angles, and that's what the s value represents. So if you're looking for the measure of each interior angle, I have to take the sum of all of the interior angles and then divide it by the number of sides. Okay, that's each interior angle. Okay, unless the question says find the sum of the interior angles of a polygon with 10 sides, and it says find the sum of the interior angles, and at that point I'm just plugging it into this equation. Okay, and I don't need to divide anything at the very end. All right, so this looks like all of the different variations, okay, using this one formula. Okay, on the EQAO there are questions pertaining to this formula, and again they'll just give you various shapes. Okay, I have to make sure I memorize this formula. Okay, it is not on the formula sheet, okay, that they provide you with. And again, if you want to check out the formula sheet for the EQAO, you can also go to their website, or I could just also type it into Google, just put the PDF form of it, and it's a really good idea to take a look at all the formulas that they will be providing on the actual test. Okay, and that way you can get kind of used to using all of the formulas and you can be familiar with them. Okay, and that's the reason again that they are giving you the formulas. They want to make sure that you know how to apply them. It's not just about memorizing the formulas. Okay, so again, today we covered Math 9, content angle relationships in polygons, and this was the sum of the interior angles within a polygon, and it was just a very simple formula with just different variations of the questions using the same formula here. All right, So thank you for watching. I hope everyone did enjoy the content and you learned something today. If you did, please make sure you're subscribing to the channel and click on the like button below. And I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks. Bye.